song. Pieces to Start with the Star Blooms. I love this song. Um, in the pre-shuffle, I got the Star and the Two of Wands, which is basically in support of the channel message that I had received as well. Because it was a basic, like it was an energy of not settling. You knowing because you're not settling. And the energy is so intentional because it's a practical, sincere energy. Someone needs to know that you're being practical and sincere in your approach now. The way you make decisions has changed. So don't be forced, but be advised that in shift, your adjustments occur in accordance to what it is that you're being guided to and guided through at this time. That's what makes it so special. That's what makes it, it's so intentional. It's a sincere, practical, and logical state that is very heart-centered because you are being guided at this time. The Star card showing up with the Two of Wands is someone who is in the limelight, but someone who is very, very intelligent. I'm seeing Rising Star from the Kipper deck. Yeah, someone who's connected to their higher self, but extremely mature in their attainment of their goals, and they're bold and courageous, and they're basically at this rate of really, really standing up for what it is that they're in receipt and in action of. I love this Two of Wands because it shows her standing firm on both feet, how she's anchored in both stance that she has. So it's like either way you go with this, because you're being guided, you're going to go the way that you need to go, which is what's best for you. That rate of making a decision based off of how you're being guided versus making a decision based off of survival, based off of being at certain rates of anxiety, being at certain rates of confusion due to certain stances that you previously took, being conflicted in your spirit about things based off of how you had been conditioned. Those things have basically matured because you've learned through lessons how you could basically have a different perspective. I explained it this morning to my baby, the idea and the knowledge of switching seats. We had a conversation. I wanted this to be a short live. We had a conversation about why it's okay that everybody doesn't have the same perspective. And she's so delicate how she says everything she says. Yeah, because everybody has a right to be different. And if I say something from where I'm at, I might say something, but from where you're at, you might say something different. But both things could be true, because from where I'm at, this is what I could see. And from where you're at, you get to see more. And it's like, it was beautiful because I didn't have to say anything. It's exactly what I was saying. And I think that that's the approach that Spirit's wanting to guide you to have at this point. This message is basically pertinent to a decision that's being made. You're having the opportunity to come into this rate of non-juggling within this season, even though that there's a lot of cards, Spirit. Even though there's a lot of options, because you've already moved out of the space of give me a second, y'all. Give me more pretentious. Pause, y'all. I want to clear the energy. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, we want new energy, fresh energy for this message. Because the cards that were coming out, y'all, I know that they were like, yeah, it wasn't energy that it wants to take center stage. It wants to basically be acknowledged. Interfering energy. Yeah. So your light team is here with you now at this time, and Spirit wants you to be aligned to how you're being guided to. You were given certain indicators in meditation, in connection with yourself. And at this rate, you're not going to be emotionally manipulated because your light team is what's going to be the charge, the leading charge that's going to move you forward. The numbers that I had seen were 222 and 234 just a second ago, which is very, 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 yeah, it's amazing. Previous seasons, you had to basically abandon ship to certain things that didn't nurture your heart space, that weren't really, really aligning you to rates of you being able to truly connect to the center of you, being in recognition of how you speak to yourself. Yeah. Your emotional status, your love and intuition, how you are at rates of being imaginative, and how you basically choose what it is that you're going towards, being protective and sympathetic over the things that you are actually into, versus being at this constant rate of feeling overwhelmed and are over emotional or clingy towards certain things out of desperation. Spirit is wanting you to understand, yeah, you're moving into these races of basically being able to have confidence in the circumstances that you're going to be into, places that won't be interfered because they're protected. So you don't have to be a race of wanting to push away what it is that you're being called to make a decision on. Spirit wants you to recognize the reward and the gain in this level up that is coming towards you. How you've basically been able to be at a rate of being able to gain victory in what it is that you're moving towards. But being focused is so vital at this time. 2:55 p.m. Yeah. Balance. Major change. People are wanting to come in and try to swipe and siphon what it is that you have going on. But if you recognize how you love yourself and how that shows up in representation of yourself, because that'd be the difference. 744, it may be a circumstance to where we have different seats that we are sitting in, speaking to the rate of what I was sharing about the message that I had with my daughter. But it's also the rate of how you love and how you cherish yourself, which allows you to identify yourself in this new season. When things are being directed towards you, projected towards you, you have the opportunity to be able to perceive precisely where it is. What's the infliction here? What's the compound that's being represented here? How can I basically show up different? Is there a copycat in the spirit? Because if there is something that's trying to wear and cloak itself within me, it's basically going to be removed based off of how I care for me, right? And that's the thing. Yeah, based off of how I care for me. How I care for me is what separates me from the things that are infectious to my intuition. Be in representation of yourself, knowing that you in peace and harmony within the spaces that you're moving towards. Just because you are sitting at a rate that is different within you, you aren't going to be forced in this new space because you are being advised in shift. That means it's a live in action, in step moment with you, an intuitive nudge that you've become so sensitive to now. And you get to be at this rate where you release and stand firm. I don't know why I'm hearing like it's your stance. Be open to going forward, to make the decisions and not wanting to sit in this waging thing where you're wanting to do this balancing act of, I don't know why I keep on getting the Two of Pentacles, but it didn't come out. Balancing act of wanting to basically be on and off of whatever it is that you feel like could or couldn't possibly. Don't be in fear with this season. Be in release of what it is that you know that you truly, truly desire. Even be at the rate to where you're allowing yourself to recognize how you surrender the things that you know have come, because you know that the hands, it's supposed to be there. So you don't got to hold on to it so tight either. That's what I'm trying to say. Peace. I hope this message comes to you in light. take it back in meditation so you can align to it. Peace. Love y'all.